Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available! 2914, the album, the country music edition. Dad, shimmy, shimmy. The Waylon Jennings remix. Yes, the door is always open. And the light's on in the hall. And you know that I'll be waiting if you ever come to call. Beast! How are you guys doing today? Okay, I have been listening. So I grew up on Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson. They were like my dad's two favorite musicians of life. So apparently there is a new like 6-part series on Willie Nelson. Have you guys watched it? I've got to watch it because I grew up on everything. I know every Willie Nelson song that has ever played on the radio. On the radio. Did you ever see Coal Miner's Daughter back in the day? When Loretta Lynn, she's in the radio station and Dew, her husband's outside eating the car. And she's like, well, sometimes when Dew gets real horny, I make him a turkey sandwich. Do y'all remember that part? Oh my God, I love that movie so much. Okay, a little unknown fact about Peter Monn. Well, first, the unknown fact, which is now a known fact because I've shared it quite a bit in my videos, is that I'm a huge country music fan, okay? Number two, I mean, huge country music fan. It drives my husband crazy, okay? The second thing about me is that I shared the other day is that I love sports movies, okay? I don't understand the sports. I don't play the sports. I don't know nothing about the sports. I did when I was a kid. I mean, I didn't know nothing about sports, but I don't know nothing about nothing. I didn't know anything about sports. I mean, I played sports. It doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying, right? But I love sports movies. And the third thing is I love country music movies, okay? Coal Miner's Daughter is one of my favorite movies of life. But my all-time favorite country music movie of life is Sweet Dreams with Jessica Lange. Sweet dreams of you. Now listen, Linda, I can't sing today. I mean, I can't sing most days. I think we know that, right? By the way, I just want to say, it cracks me up so much. Like, I have to tell you, you know, I talk about the drama over here and sometimes that upsets people, but I have to tell you, my favorite comments that I get on my videos, and I've been getting them a lot lately because, I don't know, for like the last 2 weeks, I've been changing up the release date on the album. What I live for, okay, is in the comment sections when people are like, oh, well, I pre-ordered my album 2 years ago. I don't think it's ever coming out. I want my money back. Or when somebody's like, oh, you moved it up to 2182. It's never coming out. Okay, it cracks me up so much. Because it's like, we both know it's a joke. Like, we know there's no album ever coming out, right? But, like the fact that people, like, play into the joke, it makes me so happy. I just want to say, I love that so much. It's like those kind of interactions. Like, I never in a million years, I never knew what I was getting myself into when I started YouTube almost 8 years ago, 7.5 years ago. I started on BookTube, posting consistently, May 11th of 2016. So this May, it will be 8 years that I've been on YouTube posting consistently. And I never thought like I would get those kind of interactions. I mean, that's nothing I didn't really live ever in the comment sections. And so I still kind of don't, but so I never thought that like that kind of interaction or like the timestamp channels and stuff like that. Like that was never anything that I could ever even imagine. And I just want to tell you guys, that lightheartedness and fun, even when we're talking about like darker subjects, like it warms my heart. And I want to say I really appreciate it. Now, the reason that I am the world-class singer. Now, when I say that the album is never coming out, and then there's like that one person who's really serious, and they're like, well, Peter, and I've gotten like literally like emails about this too, right? And they're like, well, Peter, you know, there's services that you can like buy apps and whatever, and you can like record your own songs and put out an EP. You could do that, right? And I'm like, maybe I could. So I'm telling you right now, I don't know that this album is never coming out. If you guys have requests for covers that I would do on my album that I've sang over here, put it in the comment section below. Not new songs, okay? People are all the time. This is what kills me too. And it's usually people that watch my videos like every single day and comment every single day. They're like, could you please sing this one song? Okay, like there's this one gal out there. She is so sweet. Okay, but she has been begging for me to sing Tears for Fears. Girl, I see you out there, okay? I have sang Tears for Fears on this. I used to listen to them when I was in high school. Are they problematic? Is that what somebody's trying to do? Are they trying to get me to sing something problematic? I should Google search, because I love the Google, you know that. I should Google search, is Tears for Fears problematic? I should probably Google search, is Tears for Fears even around anymore? Because I haven't heard from them. I'm not singing their song unless I know they're problematic. But I do think in 2024, and since none of these predator protectors want to come out and take accountability, and none of their friends want to address it, and then all the super fans just say they shouldn't have to come out and talk about it, I'm going to sing whatever song I want to sing over here anymore. I ain't even going to look. I look up songs. Waylon Jennings is probably way problematic, and this song is probably way problematic. I think I found this song because I watched the movie To Leslie last year for the Oscars. Do you guys remember that? The soundtrack has Willie Nelson, Waylon, because she's sitting in a bar most of the time, because it's about an alcoholic that's trying to change her life. If you have never seen the movie To Leslie, and you have any relation to addiction, specifically alcoholism, and you have family members or friends or relate to that story, you just like a good story, To Leslie is one of the most fantastically done movies I've ever seen in my life about addiction. It is unbelievable. It is so good. And it's not from a 12-step point of view or anything like that. It's just about this woman's story of how she tries to change her life. It's based on a true story, so for those of you that don't know. It was based on a woman that won the lottery years ago in Texas, and I think it was within like 6 months or 6 years, she had lost like everything that she had won in the lottery. It's fantastic. So anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. The album might come out one of these days. I might just surprise you. I can tell you right now, okay, because I already know that I done screwed the pitch with announcing this book and this movie and all this kind of stuff, right? I mean, there's people literally waiting for the day after Halloween so they can just like come for me and be like, Peter said he was gonna come out with this movie. Where's the book? I already know, okay? I knew that when I made the announcement. I said in my announcement, my biggest fear was that I wasn't gonna meet my own expectation. I'm already ready for people to come out and say, Peter's not gonna ever make this video, blah, blah, blah. I may not, you know? It's a dream of mine. It's a dream project. I hope I will, you know? It's on my goals list for 2024, and there's not much on there. So I hope I will, you know? But I don't know. We'll see, right? But I ain't going to come out and say I'm coming out with no album, like, seriously. And then people will be like, with bated breath, waiting for this album from the worst singer in the entire world. I know I can't sing, trust, okay? Although I was on a children's album when I was in the 5th grade. I was, okay? But anyway, it's not, like, in my IMDb or my Wikipedia, because I don't think I have one of those. But anyway. But, so yeah. So anyway, what was I going to talk about? Oh, even though I like to sing, okay? The reason I picked this Waylon Jennings song is because I've been listening to it literally on repeat for like the last 4 days. I don't know why. It just came up. I like to just like shuffle through my iTunes and whatever, you know, is on there. Now I got the Apple Music and the iTunes because some songs I can't buy because I like to buy my songs. I don't know why. I think it's fair to the artist to buy your song. So, and I know that they make money off of Apple Play and Spotify sometimes and all that kind of stuff. Do they make money off of Spotify? I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass. I don't have Spotify, so I don't know. But anyway, so I've been listening to this song. Well, my cousin Caroline came to pick me up yesterday for Cousin Fun Day. Well, I was listening to it sitting on the front porch in the chair waiting for her, see? We're in Indiana, okay? This isn't LA. I don't have a studio. I'm not a fancy YouTuber and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I think we know that by now, right? So I'm sitting on the front porch, you know, drinking my coffee. I think I was having a Diet Coke, actually. And I'm waiting for my cousin Caroline. I'm listening to this song. See, I got it tuned up right here, okay? And I was waiting for Caroline, and she pulls up, okay? And I'm doing the side step down, you know? And the door is always open. And the light's on in the hall. And I'm doing one of these little shuffles to the side, right? Little two-step shuffle, right? And you know that I'll be waiting. If you ever come to call. By the way, what's interesting is, whenever I listen to these songs, like I could literally go through my my iTunes right now and just tell you the songs that come up. Outside by Calvin Harris. Hold on a second. At 17 by Janice Ian. See, that was the song that I sang for my video yesterday. Oh, You Are My Christmas by Dolly Parton. Let's just go through my iTunes and see what. Come Wake Me Up by Rascal Flatts. Okay. Come On by Mary Chapin Carpenter. She's probably one of my favorite country music artists of life, okay? Oh my God, this is so funny. When I Said I Do by Clint Black, this is pulling up all country musics. I Play the Road by Zach Brown Band. Do I have this tuned to, no, because it's Sometimes by Britney Spears. I love that song so much, I do. Okay. Bizarre Love Triangle by New Order, which was one of my all-time favorite songs in high school. Oh my God, the Christmas version of My Favorite Things by Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is probably one of my favorite artists of life. Silent Night by Cascade. The Cascade Christmas album, there's 1 and 2. It's probably Cascade the DJ. Because somebody was confused about that the other day on the video. It's probably one of my favorite albums of like Careless Love by Janis Joplin. Mine Would Be You by Blake Shelton. I'm really truly showing what a country music fan I am. Okay. El Condor Pasa by Simon and Garfunkel. Ask by the Smiths. That was one of my favorite songs in high school. Milkshake 2.0 by Khalees. It's a remix. Angel Flying Too Close to His Wings by Willie Nelson. Or to the ground, sorry, by Willie Nelson. I love that song so much. Okay, so I'm listening to a song by Waylon Jennings, right? And I'm doing a two-step out to my car. Well, I can already tell my cousin, like, she was so tired because she got this new rescue dog. Her name's Mabel. She's so sweet. This little dog, let me just tell you, she's 5 years old, okay? She has literally lived in like a 2x2 crate her entire life, and her sole purpose was just to breed puppies for these breeders out there, okay? And so when they were done with her, because each dog that like they breed only gives like so many litters, when they were done with her, they got rid of her, right? And so these people rescued her through this rescue program here in Indianapolis, and Caroline and her husband went and looked at for a dog, because Caroline's really big into rescues, and I shared that the other day in my video, right? But anyway, oh no, I shared that in my video that I did yesterday on my Peter Does Stuff video, because on that channel, somebody sent me a very, very nice gift, I think it's 25% of the proceeds go to, like, helping spay and neuter dogs and getting meals for dog shelters and things like that. Really nice organization. It's called Grounds and Hounds. And so, but anyway, so Caroline is really big into rescue dogs, right? My cousin Caroline started in Indianapolis years and years and years ago. Well, in Indiana, I guess. The program, one of the original programs, there's now several, to take dogs, like pit bulls, that are rescue dogs, into prison so that they can, like, be in the prisons with the inmates, and the inmates can develop relationships with dogs and then all that kind of stuff, right? And so she was one of the people that originally started that way back in the day, and then she was also the president of the Indiana Greyhound Foundation, I believe. Indianapolis Greyhound Foundation, one of the Greyhound Foundations, or several of them. Rescue Foundation. And so that was years and years and years ago. She hasn't done that in a long time, but she really believes in rescue dogs. So she and her husband go look at this dog, right? Well, they looked at several dogs, but they found Mabel, okay? And Caroline really wanted Mabel. But she was like, she had something to do that afternoon, and she's like, I just am worried that Mabel won't get along with the other dogs, and blah, 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 whatever, and I want to do a visit first and stuff, all this kind of stuff. So Caroline has to go and do stuff at work. Her husband, okay, I love Mike so much. Her husband goes, okay, and they do like a home visit with the dogs, and the dogs get along fine, they're doing really well, and all that kind of stuff, right? So she's gone for like 8 hours. He does this like 2-hour visit. The dogs get along really well and all that kind of stuff, right? And they, you know, have to check the house and all kind of stuff because it's a rescue kind of thing, right? Adoption. And so he ends up adopting Mabel. Well, Mabel is getting situated because she's lived in a crate for the last, I don't know how many years. She's 5 years old, so 5 years, right? Until she moved in with Caroline and her husband and her son. And so she's not, like, Caroline's trying to get her on a schedule and stuff like that. Well, she's just used to living in this crate. She's the sweetest dog in the entire world. She's the absolute sweetest dog in the entire world. And you would think she was 15 years old. I don't know what these people did to her, but you would think she was 15. She sleeps, like, 90% of the time. She's, like, just comes up to you she's a very gentle dog. Well, she's getting up earlier and earlier because Caroline's trying to get her on a schedule. So she woke Caroline up yesterday at, like, I think it was like before 6 or something, and then Caroline brought her back up, got her treat, got her back into bed and stuff like that. Then her other dog wanted to go out. Then her other dog wanted to go, because they wouldn't all go out at the same time, right? Because they were all still sleeping. So when Caroline came to pick me up, she was exhausted. So here I am, two-stepping out in the driveway. She goes, what are we doing? I go, two-stepping. I go, and the door will always, and the lights on in the hall. And she just was not having it. She was like, okay, we need coffee. We need coffee. So anyway, speaking of coffee, well, I have my coffee right here, but speaking of why I'm the worst singer in the entire world, part of it is, I mean, I'm not fooling anybody. What I love out there is, like, when people say stuff like, he really thinks he can sing. You guys, some of you out there, like, seriously take this shit too seriously. No, like, really you do, okay? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's YouTube, okay? Like, you really take some of this stuff, like, some of this stuff really is serious that I've talked about this year, right? Like, some of this stuff is really, really serious. But it's like, people that can defend, like, those kind of behaviors, but then, like, really are like, oh, but he thinks he can sing. He thinks he's so fun. I never claimed to think I was funny. I never claimed to think that I can sing. I do it because I like doing it. I do it because Peter Monn at 14 years old could not be Peter Monn at 51 years old today. I didn't have the confidence. I never allowed myself to be myself. I never allowed myself to be free, and I never stood up for myself. And so this whole phase that I went through of standing up for myself this last year wasn't just about standing up for myself at 51. It was standing up for myself at 14, at 12, at 6, at 17, at 18, you know? It was all about that. And it was about embracing and allowing myself to be whoever I want to be. And that's freeing, you know? Like, that's amazing. So anyway, speaking of my voice, I stayed up way too late last night. Okay, like, this Vanderpump Rules bullshit, I am so over it. So I started it because everybody on my reality TV channel, which basically I'm trying to post over there more often, people are loving the 1,000 Pound Sisters videos over there. Oh, speaking of 1,000 Pound Sisters, so I have now two fans upstairs. I took all my other fans and I put them down in the basement, okay? So I have this fan right here that says trash, and this one that says shade, right? And, you know, I saved my trash fan for specific people. Now, Morgan Adams, we're going to talk about today. I didn't really feel like she was deserving of the trash fan. I don't really think that Morgan Adams is trash. I just don't. I know a lot of people have issues with her. I don't really have... I've had issues with her about some things in the past, but I don't really think she's a trash person. I just don't. So, I'm going to give her just... Listen. I have, like... Okay. The truth is, the Pink Beast fan... Okay, I sent to Amy Slayton. Amy Slayton wanted a fan. Amy Slayton Halterman from 1,000 Pound Sisters, okay? Yes, we might have, I don't know, formed some kind of friendship, okay? I just, from a distance, I kind of like, I've watched so much of the show now, I kind of feel like I'm a Slayton, okay? I just, like, that's it. Like, I just want to sit in Queen Tammy's living room and shoot the shit with them. I mean, like, that's just, hey, listen, okay? I know they're problematic. I get it, okay? But, like, somebody said I said Amanda funny the other day. I've, like, had Amandas around me my entire life. How did I say it funny? She says Aunt Manda to the kids and stuff like that. But I love Amanda, Misty, Chris, Tammy, Amy, all of them. You know, I love them all. So, Amy wanted to do this video where she was going to flip a fan and say Beast, okay? But then her kid broke her fan, okay? So she reached out to me and she was like, well, he broke the fan, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have to go to the Dollar Tree and buy another fan. And I said, girl, I'll just send you a fan. Don't worry about it. She's like, oh my God, that would mean so much to me. Okay, so I was like, I'm going to give her the fan that I use the most, which is the pink frazzled Beast fan, okay? And I thought I gave her my last one. But then I went in the basement the other day for looking to see if I could find my old fans. And I have like 3 more Beast fans down there. I just done a video going through my Beast fans. But Amy Slayton now has my Beast fan, my pink Beast fan. So people were so bent out of shape years ago anyway because they said, do you remember this? Just for those of you that want to put this in perspective, why some of us drama channels out there are a little weary of the fact that somebody literally has a beauty influencer that they talk about in their videos, let alone a predator protector that they can't talk about anymore, that protects people that they make videos about in their biggest video of the year, okay? I received a fan from Anastasia of Beverly Hills, the Alyssa Edwards fan, okay, with the mirror that says Beast on it, because I say that in my videos. Norvina, who I no longer support because she's a James Charles supporter, Norvina, okay, reached out to me, probably a good reason why I sent that fan away. Norvina reached out to me and asked me if I wanted the Alyssa Edwards set because she knew I was such a huge Alyssa Edwards fan, okay? And I got that in the mail, and I showed it. And you know what people said to me? You are no longer unbiased because you are taking PR when you said that nobody should be taking PR or they're biased, okay? Just a little side note out there for you. So, I accepted a fan from Norvina, a CEO of a makeup company, okay? Way back before this James Charles shit came out, okay? Norvina wasn't even problematic or anything back. She's not problematic now. I just don't like the fact that she supports James Charles. I don't think she needs to, you know? Of Anastasia of Beverly Hills, okay? I got called out over a fan. Now do you understand why some of us are a little bit shitty? This was the extent that these people went to talk about payroll back in the day. So give me a fucking break, okay? That somebody wants to cry a river about how hard they have it, that we're calling them out because you literally have a predator protector in your video. Not even that, okay? But if we had even done a video or received a palette or received a brush, a Morphe brush back in the day, our channel wouldn't have been decimated. I have the comments to prove it. I can go back and read those comments for you if you guys want me to. I can just pick out the video and go read the comments if you guys don't believe it, okay? It was bad. It was really, really bad, okay? Now, we went through all of that so that you could have this career where it's so important for you to do a face reveal. So Cry Me a River, that this video has received such backlash for you, which is interesting to me, right? Because you were literally written up in every major news outlet. I mean, I saw it come up on Twitter. You were like in Time Magazine, Variety. I mean, I'm guessing now. Rolling Stone, Variety, whoever your PR agent is, she's fantastic or he's fantastic because they got you in a lot of stuff. You did an interview, a video interview with Forbes magazine, okay? This all happened in the last month. Now, with that kind of international exposure, I mean, 10 magazine articles, okay? The posting about the biggest face reveal in history. And you did an interview on Forbes magazine. Can you explain to me why you've only gained 1,000 subscribers in a month? I'm not ashamed to get on video and tell you exactly how many subscribers I've lost in the last 28 days on this channel. Here, you can pull it up. You can pull it up right here in your creator app. I've lost subscribers. I haven't gained subscribers. I can tell you right now. I don't know what it says on Social Blade, but right here I'm looking at it on my creator app. It says, oh, the devil's number. I've lost 666. Here, we'll take a screenshot of it and I'll show you for those of you that don't believe me. I have lost 666 subscribers. Hold on a second. Because I know there's somebody out there that's going to say, I'm not telling the truth, blah, 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 whatever. You know how that always says, right? Okay. So let's go in here and I will show you. Subscribers, negative 666. I've lost 666 subscribers in the last 28 days. Any YouTuber in the world can tell you that the creator app shows exactly what your number is. So people can say it's something different, but... And I haven't gained any subscribers in the last month. I've only lost. I don't think people are very interested in the YouTube anymore. But what's interesting to me about it is you think that if somebody was like getting Forbes interviews and magazine articles and all this kind of stuff listed on Time Magazine and Variety and Vanity Fair, New York Times... I mean, a lot of these magazines had, you know, Andrew Quintana and that whole people. What it is there's services that you can go to and you can pay for journalists to write things about you and you pay for them to write those up. It's all smoke and mirrors, okay? It's the same thing that Colleen Ballinger did with her team. It's the same thing that James Charles did with his team. What's sad to me is I just love being a drama channel, okay? I ain't trying to compete with anybody on that level because it's never been my dream to be Barbara Walters, okay? It just isn't. I ain't no Barbara Walters. And quite frankly, I don't really want to be, okay? She ain't nobody that I'm looking up to be in my life, okay? Now, there are some investigators of the world. You know, there are some people out there that do research journalism that I greatly respect and admire. Most of them do true crime, okay? But that's a different story, okay? But just to put this in perspective, I literally got so much shit for a fan. For a fan, okay? That's why you are getting hundreds of thousands of views today. For all those people out there want to cry about any little critique that they get, that's why. Because there were so many of us out there that were getting shit about, I mean... I can still hear Ashley Kyle on the phone. True story, okay? Crying because people were literally coming for her over her first pallet that she got from Jeffree Star. And she was so excited that she got sent a pallet by Jeffree. She was so excited, right? This girl that was just making videos, you know, in her living room after she put her kids to bed. Late at night, okay? And she was so excited that Jeffree Star reached out to her and sent her a pallet. And she got decimated over it. You know? Cry me a river about that. So anyway, Vanderpump Rules, that's what I was talking about. So, you know, Vanderpump Rules, I started watching it because all these people at my reality TV channel, that's what I was talking about, 1,000 Pounds. I can't keep it. Somebody yesterday said I love that Peter goes off on about a million things and always comes full circle. And I was like, well, I mean, it's kind of how my life works, true story. But, I mean, this is a conversation I have with my friend Tanya Jane, right? But I come back and I circle back to every, you know, I usually do. I usually get every point covered. So, over my reality TV channel, the 1,000 Pound Sisters videos people like to watch. The Real Housewives, I don't know why. People have been asking me to do Real Housewives videos for years. And now I'm doing them. Nobody wants to watch them. Nobody wanted to watch a video about who is behind the messages of Meredith Marks and Monica. Are you kidding me? That was my video yesterday. 34 views or something like that. I'm like, I don't care. I have fun talking about it. Y'all think that I'm so passionate talking about it. People that say I have a hate boner for these people over here, go watch my reality TV channel. Tell me if I'm any different, okay? So anyway, I start watching Vanderpump Rules, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, right? There's 10 seasons that you have to watch because it comes out on January 30th. Now, we know the last season was when Scandival happened, okay? When Tom Sandoval cheated on Ariana with Raquel and all that kind of stuff, right? So we already know about all that, okay? I haven't watched that season, but I know all about it, right? So I start to go in and I start watching Vanderpump Rules, and I am, like, hooked immediately. Last night, I sat in that chair down there, okay? I moved twice, okay? to get a Diet Coke and go to the bathroom twice. I watched 12 straight episodes, okay? I was on starting episode 5 of season 3. I just finished 18, 19, 20. I just finished episode 18. How many episodes that is, I don't know. And I am going in 13 episodes, something like that. I'm going into the reunion, okay? I cannot wait to watch the reunion and start season 4. I'm obsessed with the show. This is the most, okay, I have watched a lot of shows. Today I'm doing a video on my Peter Does Stuff channel of all the shows I've watched in 2023. This is by far the most addicting show I have literally ever watched in my entire life, okay? It is the most unbelievable, reality TV drama I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I thought the Housewives was bad. This puts the Housewives to sleep. I mean, Vanderpump Rules, and the thing about it is, every episode you think that they're gonna it's gonna be boring, then something's gonna happen at the end. Oh, no, ma'am. It is through the whole episode that stuff happens. So, not sponsored by Vanderpump Rules, but you might want to catch up, okay? You might want to get new and start watching that show. So, anyway, I had some videos yesterday that I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch this Drew Monson video. We're talking about not being on some podcast. I started watching it. You know, Drew Monson, I think part of the reason, I mean, he seems like a very nice guy to me, right? I think part of the reason why I can't watch Drew Monson is, I realized this last night, is that he reminds me kind of myself a little bit. No, true story, he does. He is so all over the place. You know, one second he's playing the guitar, then he's sitting I don't know if he plays the guitar, but he's sitting at the piano playing a song at the end, and then he's talking about Ohio, and then he's talking about this. I'm like, oh my God, Drew Monson and I are the same person in our heads. What is going on here? And I'm like, oh, now I understand why people can't watch my videos, right? I totally get it. I think he is one of the nicest people in the world. He seems so nice. I really like Drew Monson. I think the last video I made about him was when he came out and talked about trying to stay sober and stuff like that. I don't know anything about what's going on with that, and I'm not going to speak to it or speculate it, because I don't know. But he was talking about some podcast. I thought he was talking about Shane Dawson's podcast, but I don't think he is. So I kind of skimmed through it a little bit. But anyway, the other video that I wanted to watch was this video by Morgan Adams on Morgan's Vlogs, because I was getting a lot of messages from people, okay, that were telling me to watch this video. Hold on a second. I have a screenshot of what the video is called. Let me tell you. Let me see what it is called. Okay. So the video is called I'm Ready to Move On. It was posted 1 day ago. Okay, so I'm like, I need to watch this video, blah, blah, blah. Well, I start watching the Drew Monson video. Okay, so I got about halfway through and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So I got Vanderpump Rules to watch. So then I stop with that, and I'm going through Twitter, and I'm going through Instagram. I do that every couple hours, whatever. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to put my phone down, just enjoy the shows. So I'm going through Instagram, and I get this message. I should actually give her a shout out. I don't know if she'll like that or not, but I'll say her first name. Nobody's going to know. Hold on a second. And the door is always open. Okay, got some tea about Jaclyn Hill. Oh, okay. We've got this Ultra Music Festival group text going on here. People send me all these pictures of okay, yeah, here it is. So this goes out to Alexa, who sent me this about Morgan's video. She said, did you see Morgan's video addressing Garrett and Andrew with the eye emojis? And I said, I was getting ready to watch it. Thanks for reminding me. And she said a lot more than I thought she'd say. Okay, so I go in and I watch this video. The video is 38 minutes long. I noticed that. In the description box of Morgan's video, she says underneath here, hold on just a second. She says, welcome to your 40-minute personalized FaceTime call. I hope you enjoy the ride. The video is 38 minutes and so many seconds. The video is now 33 minutes and 47 seconds, okay? What I did, so I watched the video and I don't think anything more about it, right? Okay. So I watched a video at about, I would say, 3/4 of the way through the video. She says, and I have a screenshot of it, actually. She says in here, something about, let's talk about, you're here for the hot goss. Here it is. You know what I need to do? I have to keep on turning down the display brightness, because if I don't, then you guys can't see my receipts. And if you can't see my receipts, then I'm not a real drama channel, so fuck it. But anyway, so, okay, so I'm not throwing up a bunch of receipts. We don't do that anymore on Peter Monn videos. We're just not that deep. Okay, so she throws up this thing that says hot goss, okay? Now, if you go watch the video now, at the point where, now it's too low, I don't know if you guys can see it, but at the point where she says hot goss, and she goes, I know you guys want to hear the hot goss, so that's what I'm going to do. At that point, it goes right into something else. That's the last thing you see before it clips in the new version of the video, okay? In the new version of the video, she has completely clipped out the part where she talks about Andrew and Garrett. In the original video, she talks about the fact that she no longer talks to Andrew and Garrett. She talks about she doesn't really know what happened, that she always kind of knew that she lives in this illusionary world, or this, I don't know what she says, right? But she says that, you know, she always kind of knew it was like Team Rylan and Shane and Team Andrew and Garrett, which I thought was interesting anyway. The camera stopped. I thought it was interesting because at the beginning she says, you know, I thought we were 5 really, really good friends. Then she goes into saying and says she was always kind of aware that it was, you know, like Camp Rylan and Shane and Camp Andrew and Garrett. Well, then no, that wasn't the case, okay? And that she was just kind of like part of it. She thought it was just really good friends and whatever. And that she had reached out to Andrew and Garrett, or one of them, I can't remember who, several times, and they had never responded to her, is what she said, okay? The comment sections underneath there were not in favor of Andrew and Garrett, okay? They were just, it was like, they are so cruel, they are so mean, I can't believe they did that. It was filled with Morgan and Shane fans, is what it was, okay? And so I'm going to address that in a second. I'm going to talk about that, okay? But before I get in this video, actually, I have to read my notes. I have to turn back on my display and brightness. So I watch this video. Then I start getting... So then I watched like 2 episodes of Vanderpump Rules. I almost filmed this video outside last night, but it was so cold. I was like, there's no way I can do it. So then I go and I start getting... I go in and I'm like reading comments from my drama video that I posted yesterday, right? And these are the comments that I'm getting. Hold on a second. I was like, what is going on? I have all these comments from her video. So I'm getting these comments and it says, update, Morgan literally cut that part about Andrew and Garrett out of the video and updated the thumbnail. And somebody responded and said, crap, I was going to watch it after this. And this person says, go look in the comments. People, you can still see what people were saying. Try and take some screenshots or something, because you know that's going to get deleted, because she deletes comments like crazy. But she wasn't last night. I have a theory about that. And somebody said, I'm guessing, this person responded and said, I'm guessing somebody contacted her after she put out the video. She talked about how she reached out to Garrett and Andrew and they never replied to her ever. She said they cut her off for no reason, or the simple reason that they cut her off, Shane and Rylan off, so they just included her, okay? And this person also said down there, I'm going to watch this video and everything, but has anyone seen Morgan Adams' new video? She addresses the whole Andrew and Garrett watch thing. It's actually really sad, and I really want to hear Peter's point of view from it. And this person also responds and said, I literally hope somebody screen recorded some of that video. Morgan cut that part of the video out. She talked about how she reached out to Garrett and Shane, but they never replied to her and completely cut her off and never gave her a reason. Anyone that reads this, go look in the comments of that video and screenshot before they get deleted or hidden. Which I think is interesting. This person said this twice. This person, I think, has commented on my videos before, but I think it's interesting. They said that twice and are sending people to go to that video, right? I thought that was interesting. Not like I get a lot of traction on my videos, so it's not like some big conspiracy of the world. But I did think that that was interesting, because there's not that many comments, unless she is deleting the comments, okay? But there were some comments up there on her video yesterday, because I have them screenshot. So somebody said, underneath here, if you read some of the comments, somebody said, okay, so there was an original comment, and the original comment was... I'm just going to read straight through some of these. Okay, the original comment is, it breaks my heart to hear Morgan reached out to Andrew and Garrett and they ignored her. I don't think anyone should say things like, they're so awful, because that isn't Morgan's point. It just shows how good of a friend she is, which underneath here, they say how awful they are, okay? She still wants to check in on them regardless of their friendship status. Somebody said, yeah, they are horrible. They were happy to be in Shane's vlogs, but when the drama started, they turned their backs and left their friends. Okay, first of all, I just want to make this very, very clear. And this is not in defense of Andrew and Garrett, okay? We have no clue what happened behind the scenes. And the only people to blame for that are Shane, Garrett, and Ryland, okay? If Morgan came out and shared her part of the story that she had reached out to them, don't give me for 1 second that Morgan Adams does not know what happened behind the scenes. Do not tell me that Morgan Adams, that is in a lot of the vlogs, has not had a conversation with Shane and Ryland about what happened to Andrew and Garrett. If she's going to get in a video and she's going to address it and then delete it later, that part of the video, what that tells you is, if she's ready to come to video and talk about it, she's talked about it behind the scenes a lot. She's talked to her mom about it. She's probably talked to her grandma about it. She's probably talked to Shane and Ryland about it. So she knows what happened. She knew way back a long time ago what happened with Shane and Garrett, okay? or Shane, Garrett, and Ryland. She knew what happened, okay? It makes me sad that she got pulled into all of that. But let's just keep this in perspective. This is Morgan Adams getting in a video saying something that we don't know other people's sides of the story to, and then deleting it, okay? It's very speculative to me. Morgan Adams isn't somebody... So this was the thing I wanted to say before I got in this whole video, because I scripted this whole thing out, okay? Because I know that some of the things I say in here are not going to be popular. I know that a lot of people really, really love Morgan Adams, okay? And I liked her videos for a really long time, too. I really, really did. I thought she was funny. I love that she's vulnerable. I think she's really vulnerable in a lot of her videos. A lot of my friends in recovery that are her age, women in recovery that are her age, really like her videos. They really relate to her videos, right? They think that the things that she shares are just like, they're like, oh, like, I am Morgan Adams. They'll say those things. You know, like how the kids say, like, I am Tana Mojo and that kind of stuff. But, like, her life's different than Tana Mojo, right? So, you know, I appreciate, you know, the things that she talks about. I think it's very vulnerable for her to share, like, issues of mental health, her health journey, and things like that, because I know that there's a lot of horrible stuff that's been going on for her, right? And a lot of people recently have been coming for her over her support of Shane Dawson. I think it's an interesting take, and I'm just kind of trying to be completely objective about this. You're going to hear both sides of it today, okay? So I think it's really interesting that that's people's perspective, right? Because Ryland is her brother. Like, when I was watching this video yesterday, I have to be honest with you, I never have really seen this before, but it is uncanny how much her and Ryland look alike. Like, I never really saw it that much before, right? She talks about how she's lost weight in there, and I do want to, well, I'm going to address that in a second. And she looks fantastic, but I never realized how much she looked like, you know, Ryland before. So, you know, put this in perspective, okay? Shane has done a lot of, like, really horrific humor and things like that, okay? I completely acknowledge that. I've held him accountable for those things as well, okay? I don't want anything to do with Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson is her brother-in-law. I'm not really sure what she's supposed to do in that situation or what people expect. I mean, let's just keep this very, very real, okay? Let's just keep it very, very real, okay? I'm not really sure. It's completely different, okay, than the other things that people have put out there and done, okay? It's not apples to oranges. Let's just you know, or it is apples to oranges, you know? Shane Dawson did some really horrible shit, okay? But do I think that it is on the level of Colleen Ballinger and James Charles? I don't. Personally, I do not, okay? So, it's her brother-in-law. What is she supposed to do, you know? She's supposed to never have anything to do with them? Because I see people all the time that are like, Morgan's just as bad as this, Morgan's bad as that. I try to put myself in those people's shoes. You know, it's like, okay, I mean, I don't know what you do in that situation. You know, if Jaclyn Hill's mother doesn't agree with people non-disclosing affiliate, because, yeah, she should have a conversation with her daughter that's a scammer and does that left and right. We're going to talk about Jaclyn Hill in just a second, right? She should have a conversation with her. She should say that, my mother would have a conversation with me if I was Jaclyn Hill and she was still alive. She'd say, why are you walking on women this way? I taught you better. I raised you better. You know, she would say, no, this lying that you keep on doing and convincing yourself you're not lying and playing the victim, we're not doing that. I raised you to be stronger than this. I raised you not to be this way, right? So, but do you think that Jaclyn Hill's mother is just going to walk away from her? You know? So, but to have those conversations, I think is important. You know, Jaclyn, if Morgan wants to come out and say in a video, hey, you know, I don't think that anything that Shane did in his past was right. Maybe she's done that in a video. I don't know. I don't watch her that closely, okay? But if she wants to come out in a video and do that, that's fine. That's her business. But say, hey, but he's my brother-in-law. I'm going to keep on hanging out with him. So if you love me, you love me. If you hate me, you hate me. This is where a lot of influencers aren't really willing to, like, just be honest with their audience. Like, she'll be honest to a point, but she won't be all the way honest, right? Like, she talks about so much stuff on her channel, and I respect the hell out of that. She's very vulnerable about everything that she shares on her channel, right? But then there's some things that she won't talk about. And I think that's why people come for her. So, I don't know. Maybe she has protected him. I mean, this is the other thing is that she makes shady slide comments about other people. She's done it with, you know, Jeffree Star. She's done it about the beauty trip. And there's a certain amount of poor me about Morgan Adams that I'm like, okay, girl, you have a huge platform and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, I feel bad for certain situations in your life, but you have a pretty good life other than those things, you know? I mean, she's thrown a lot of people under the bus. Maybe, the real story is that Ryland, Shane, and maybe it doesn't have anything to do with Shane's cancellation. We don't know until Garrett and Andrew or Shane come out and talk about it, But I don't believe that Morgan doesn't know why they cut her off. I don't believe that, okay? I think this was a diss at the end of the month, okay? During AdSense month, when everybody says there's all this AdSense month. I don't know where she's at this month, but anyway, I think this is a diss. I think this whole thing is very calculated, okay? She knows Ryland and Garrett, or she knows Andrew and Garrett are not going to come out and address it. So we're going to get to why I think this is kind of a marketing scheme a la Shane Dawson here in a second. Okay. But the reason that I don't watch her videos anymore is not about Shane. It's not about that, blah, 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 whatever. It's just that when I watch her videos a lot, I think, like, we all love who we love, right? We all relate to who we relate to. She, to me, is very, like, teen angsty, kind of like, I don't love watching that. But like I said, a lot of my friends love watching that. Hey, that's her channel, like, I appreciate her vulnerability. I love to watch somebody that's vulnerable and authentic, but the problem is I don't really, like, I'm not building a house. I'm not redoing a house, I have, like, 2 family members that are still alive, or 3, I don't, it's, like, of my, immediate family. It's not, like, I don't relate to a lot of her story. I'm not her age. It's just not, it's not interesting to me. But like I said, I have a lot of people that love her, that I know that love her channel, and still watch her channel all the time when she posts videos. Okay, then she goes in this whole thing, and I have to say, out of everything that she talked about in the video, I really wasn't that surprised she came out and talked about Andrew and Garrett, okay? What I was surprised about was that she talked about how in debt she is. She says towards the end of the video that she's insanely in debt, something like that, right? And so, and I'm looking, and she, like, the majority of this video, she's in this sweater, right? This, like, French Alps sweater, which I know what brand that is, and it's a very expensive sweater. And so I'm like, this is interesting to me that you're talking about how insanely in debt you are while you're wearing a very expensive sweater in a bathroom that probably cost $100,000 to redo. Like, this is kind of like, privilege to me on a level that I just can't with, in all honesty. And then I'm like, and I know she's going through a lot of stuff. Like, I know she is, right? I mean, she shared about that and everything like that. But I was like, there's no way that Morgan Adams isn't making $5 million a month, or $10 million a year, or, I don't know, a couple $100,000 a month. There's just no way, right? So I go and look at her social blade. She doesn't post her Morgan Adams channel anymore. She made the transition years ago over to her vlog channel. She posted this video yesterday, and the last video she posted, I believe, was 2 or 3 months ago. Her views this month, even including the video from yesterday, are less than my views. Okay, I know what money looks like on YouTube, per the views, per the length of your video, because it's not just about the views, it's about the length of your videos and things like that, and the watch time. I mean, I could do an hour-long video, but my watch time could only be 10 minutes, right? That means I'm only getting AdSense for 10 minutes. She's doing a 33-minute, was 38, now it's 33-minute video. Her watch time is probably about 30 minutes, because people are probably watching the longevity of her videos, which means she's getting paid on 30 minutes of ads, okay? I'm like, I was baffled when I looked at her social blade. I mean, she literally has 400,000, 500,000, 600,000 less views this month than I do. And I'm a small channel. So I was like, okay, this is kind of weird to me. And then I was like, well, maybe because of this health stuff and whatever, she hasn't been posting as often. I don't know. I mean, I watched her video, and she talks a lot about this, and she talks about a lot about that. She talks about she's been working out lately and all this kind of stuff. I know that she had a lot of health stuff going on recently, but I'm like, this is kind of my thing. Like, you're talking on a video about how insanely in debt you are. Your brother is doing a Kickstarter for $300,000 to raise money for his Christmas movie. People are like, Peter, don't shame Ryland about that. Ryland Adams has 2 homes, okay? A working farm in Colorado and a ranch in California. Ryland Adams has a lot of money. Shane Dawson has a shit ton of money, okay, that you need to do a Kickstarter to raise $300,000 for a Christmas rom-com that you're going to do with your best friend, okay? A script that she wrote. You don't even have to buy the script. She wrote it, okay? What's $300,000 for? And so you have all these tiers of how people can be producers and things like that. Yeah, I am going to be fucking shady about that. They're millionaires, okay? Put some of your damn money into your own projects if you're that invested in it. I don't have anywhere near the kind of money that they have, okay? And I ain't asking nobody for a cent when I make my video, or my movie, or video, or film strip, or whatever it ends up being. I ain't asking nobody for a cent. And then to put on there, the audacity to put on there, if we don't raise it by such and such date in February, then the movie will not be made. Okay, girl, seriously? So I go in there and look, and I'm like, she's not making videos anymore. She hasn't made videos for 2 to 3 months, right? Because when she does make videos, she gets 500,000 views. If she was posting consistently, and maybe she hasn't had the ability to do that because she's had a lot going on. I don't know. But if you're working out, she talks in the video about how she's been working out the last couple months. If you're working out, do a workout video for 30 minutes. Talk while you're working out. You know, you're walking on the treadmill. That gets you 500,000 views. Girl, that might pay for your bathroom. You know, I'm just saying. I have a hard time when YouTubers cry about money, but then they're not doing a lot for it. Like, I just... There's a hustle that goes along with YouTube, and these big YouTubers, that it's like everything's handed to them. I mean, literally, Shane introduced her to YouTube. Now they're trying to build the channel of their aunt or something. Have you seen this? They're linking, they're doing videos with her. Hey, that's nice. I think that's nice, right? But it's like Shane Dawson has helped build all these channels, but then they build them and then they stop posting. Like, Ryland's really, and the podcast are really the only things that are kind of going. And I'm like, you guys must have so much. I mean, Morgan Adams, let's just put this in perspective, okay? To take 2 months off, I have friends of mine. Listen, I have friends of mine, okay, that were diagnosed with cancer, leukemia, okay? Horrible things, okay? I have friends of mine that literally, back in the day, diagnosed with HIV, thought it was a death sentence, had to be at work working double shifts the next day, okay? So I feel for the girl for whatever she's going through, right? But you can't take 20 minutes, 30 minutes out of your day to film a video in 3 months. But then you want to get in a video and talk about how in debt you are? Film a video, girl. It's what you do. You had this entire platform handed to you, and then people fell in love with you. Even if it wasn't, I mean, even if Shane Dawson didn't, I don't think he handed her. I think he introduced her, okay? And then she built it on her own. Years ago, Trisha Paytas said to me, she goes, I can send people to your channel, but people are going to have to stay around. If people that stick around and subscribe to you are going to be people that like your content. I agree with that. Morgan Adams is solely responsible for the growth of her channel, okay? Because people like Morgan Adams. But then for your audience, make videos. I don't get it, right? Like, I don't get it. So then she talks about, okay, at the beginning of the video, she talks about this whole thing about she watches all these YouTubers and she keeps up with all this kind of stuff. And then she talks about Jaclyn Hill. For like a minute. Like, she talks about, like, oh, I watch all Jaclyn Hill's videos and blah, blah, blah. I'm watching a video, I'm like, she even, like, if you watch Jaclyn's videos a lot, I mean, I have to for this channel, right? She even kind of says some Jaclynisms, okay? Like my Peterisms channel. She kind of says, like, some Jaclynisms in her videos. Like, she watches Jaclyn very, very closely. And I'm like, okay, girl, so you are now singing out the praises, sharing that you watch Jaclyn Hill pretty religiously. You keep up with all the drama. That means you know about her walking all over Caitlin Nicholson from the Cozy brand, never coming out and saying her name. You know that, okay? You know that she's come out and said that she wasn't wanting to be a salesperson anymore, and then she's done the opposite, because she said it in her video. You watch her video, so she said these things in her video. You know that she's closing her brand. I mean, a lot of what she says, if you listen to Morgan Adams in this video, she sounds a lot like Jaclyn Hill, okay? So I'm like, so now you are talking about, like, somebody that you watch consistently is a liar, okay? A proven liar, Jaclyn Hill is. Doesn't disclose FTC per FTC guidelines appropriately whatsoever, okay? Walks over other women in the beauty industry. Not to mention, she still supports James Charles and Colleen Ballinger, two of the biggest predators. And you don't have a problem with that? Like, I'm not even going to put the name to it, because I'm trying to be really fair to her today in this video, but I was baffled by that. Okay, that kind of was like, this is not a Morgan Adams. Morgan plays it pretty safe with stuff. I was like, this is not a Morgan that I was really expecting, okay? So anyway, and I don't think, listen, and I don't think that her supporting Jaclyn Hill, who supports Jaclyn, I'm not that big of a reacher, okay? So I don't believe that that makes her anything, okay? I just think she likes watching Jaclyn Hill's videos. But she knows, because she says in there, like, I watch her closely. Then you know everything about Jaclyn Hill, and yet you continue to support her by throwing her name out in a video. You know, I mean, you said this in your video, that you, and she even said, I keep up with everything, all the YouTube stuff. She said it in her video, right? Okay, so then she goes into this whole weight loss thing. And she talks about her weight loss, and she says this whole trigger warning thing about, like, I know people, it triggers people when I talk about my weight loss. I just had to address this in my vlog the other day, okay? If I talk about I want to lose 5 pounds, okay, my doctors want me under 200 pounds, okay? They want me between 170 and 180. I weighed myself this morning, I am 208.4, okay? I was between 203 and 2.5 forever, okay? And then when I was up to 211, now I'm 208.4. I'm trying to eat healthier, okay? And I need to start getting active. That's starting January 1st. At least that's the plan. We'll see what the plan is, Jan, okay? If that stays there. Yeah, sure, Jan. Listen, I sure Jan myself all the time, okay? I don't know. We'll see if I'm out there walking on the 1st, okay? But that's my plan anyway, right? But every time I talk about my weight in my vlog, I literally get 9 million suggestions. Okay, do keto, do Atkins, do this, do this. Okay, or people will say, you talking about your weight is triggering. And I said in my video the other day, it's my vlog, okay? I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about in my vlog. My weight loss is part of my journey, okay? And I'm going to talk about that. That's part of me getting healthy. That's part of this, okay? I'm going to talk about it in my videos. If it's triggering for people, maybe my videos are not for you, okay? It's not like I'm sitting on video talking about how people can, you know, engage in eating disorders. I'm talking about the struggle that I have with food, my food addiction, and how I have struggled with it my entire life, okay, since I was a teenager. And all the yo-yo diets I've done, and what they're not healthy, and diets don't work, and I need to just live a healthy lifestyle. That's what I'm talking about in my video, and how much I'm struggling with it. And literally people come over my channel and they say that they're triggered. I get why she addressed it in here. And I saw this comment that somebody left in our video, and I wanted to read this comment. The person said, it's a positive comment. The person said, why does everyone losing weight feel the need to explain it? Please, no need to explain how or why you lose the weight. It's just YouTube. And I agree 100% with this comment, right? Okay, my battery died, so I had to go downstairs and get another battery, and then I was like stretching out my back because my back hurts. So anyway, the reason that Morgan addressed it in the video is because she watches a lot of Jaclyn Hill. No, Jaclyn Hill gets called out all the time for her weight loss, right? And people say it's Ozempic, which is interesting to me because a lot of the housewives get called out for Ozempic too, and a lot of them own it. Like Marlo Hampton on the reunion, she was like, yeah, I'm on the shot. It's like, because he was like, you've lost a lot of weight. And she's like, yeah, I'm on the shot, so, you know, whatever. It's interesting to me that that's always the go-to. But Morgan knew that, right? Like, Morgan knew that that was going to be the go-to. You know, it's interesting for me because, like, with Jaclyn Hill, and y'all know I have a lot of issues with Jaclyn Hill, right? But she came out and she talked about how she lost this weight. People's immediate go-to was she's on Ozempic. The reason why they said that was because Jaclyn Hill has been a confirmed liar. So they don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth, right? That's the problem, is that when somebody lies so much, you don't know what to believe. And now Jaclyn's in this point where she did it to herself, okay? She gets pissed that people come out and say, no, Jaclyn, you didn't lose it because you've been working out and you stopped drinking. You lost it because you're on Ozempic. And she gets pissed about that, right? Probably because she really is doing the work. Well, the problem is, Jaclyn, you've lied so much and you can't address anything that nobody knows what to believe about you anymore. But, you know, I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day that's probably 60, 90 days sober. And she's older than Jaclyn by, you know, a couple, I don't know, 10 years. She's like, how old is Jaclyn? 29, 30? My friend is 40 years old. And so she was telling me, she's like, I have lost like 25 pounds in like the last 2 months. And exactly how Jaclyn said it in the video is exactly how it happens. And, you know, and she was like, I am like craving sugar like crazy. And I did not, and I said, people do not know how much sugar there is in alcohol. She's like, I had no idea, right? Same story as Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill gets in a video and she shares it and everybody says she's an Ozempic, right? Because Jaclyn Hill's been a confirmed liar, but she won't ever come out and address her lies, right? So then she gets pissed because everybody says she's an Ozempic. Morgan doesn't want to get on video because she's, and this, Jaclyn's not the only YouTuber. There's a lot of YouTubers that are going through this right now, right? With the losing weight and they're on Ozempic and all this kind of stuff, or Marjolin or whatever it is. I don't know. So anyway, so Morgan knows this, that when she gets on video and she's lost a considerable amount of weight, right? I think she said something like 37 pounds or whatever, right? That when she gets on video, that people are going to notice that she's lost a lot of weight. And so she beats them to the punch and she addresses the situation first because she already knows that people are going to come out and say something. It's a smart move. It really is, right? So that's why she addressed the weight situation. Now I want to get into this whole situation with the actual video. Okay. So I go back after I watched a video where she talks about Andrew and Garrett and that she reached out to them and she has no idea what happened. And there is a part in there where she throws up this screenshot. It's like for 2 seconds. It's in the part where she's talking about Andrew and Garrett. And it's like 3 clowns standing together. I don't know if she's like referring to them as clowns or if she's saying that they're at the circus. Okay, which is interesting because that's a reference to Shane Dawson talking about the circus, welcome to the circus. Or if she's talking about everybody in the group was clowns. I don't know if anybody else caught that. It's the videos. I mean, it's deleted now. You can't watch it. So, it was 5 minutes that she clipped out of this video. We're going to talk about that. That 5 minutes is very important, okay? So she clips this part out of the video. Now, when I watched the video, it had been up for like 6 hours, okay? I went back. No, when I watched the video, it had been up for like 4 hours. When I went back to watch it, it had been up for like 6 hours, okay? So what's interesting to me about this is that I think that it's a marketing move, okay? I really, really do think it's a marketing move. And it bothers me that I feel like Morgan could be this disingenuous with her audience that she would do something like this as a marketing move, but there's a few things that kind of align for me. First of all, I've seen enough videos of Morgan and Ryland talking about numbers and algorithm and things like that. Shane Dawson's obsessed with algorithms. He changes his thumbnails 14 times, changes his titles 14 times to try to trick the system, try to get people to come back and watch the videos. Like, that's his new tactic, right? Like, if it looks like a new video, people come back and watch this video. You want to get people to come back and watch videos, right? Like the person I was talking about that commented on my video and said, go watch the video and read the comments, okay? I'm not saying anything about that person. That person probably has nothing to do with it. But that would be like a smart tactic to do, right? So I'm like, is this a marketing tactic? Because she comes across as very genuine in this part. I mean, she gets literally everybody on her side. If you read the comments, they're not in favor of Andrew and Garrett, okay? Andrew and Garrett are basically, everybody in the comment section is saying that they're asses and that they're so hurtful to do this to her and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, just to address that, we don't know all sides of the story, okay? First of all, I believe that Morgan Adams 100% knows what went down, okay? And why Ryland and Shane are no longer friends with Andrew and Garrett, okay? It may have to do with Shane and Ryland. Shane and Ryland may have stepped away from Andrew and Garrett. We've always thought, well, I've always thought that Andrew and Garrett stepped away from Shane because of cancellation. I even thought maybe some conversation occurred between Shane and them that said, hey, just go do your own thing because I know that I'm so problematic that I'm just going to take down your careers. I thought that was me giving Shane the benefit of the doubt. What she's saying in this video is that she's saying that never happened, okay? You have to read between the lines. What she's saying is that all of a sudden they were just not friends anymore. So what she is saying is that Ryland and Garrett distanced themselves, okay, and just stopped being friends with Shane and Ryland. Basically, she said she knew that at some point it was going to end, right? So she's referencing the cancellation, I'm guessing, right? So Garrett and Andrew distanced themselves from Shane Dawson because of the horrific shit that he had done in his past. Is that a slow applause? Am I allowed to do that? Do we think that's a bad thing? Do we think that's a bad... I mean, I'm giving Morgan the benefit of the doubt. She's a sister-in-law. There's not a lot of places for her to go, okay? But if I was friends with Shane Dawson at that time, number one, I'd be having a conversation with him. Number two, I'd say, you need to come out and fully address this, okay? Period. End of story. Number three, I would be like, you're still making jokes of it, so you obviously don't take it seriously. Four, you're still making jokes about these things today. You haven't learned from the situation. You're still making penis and vagina jokes in your podcast, in your vlogs, in your videos. You're still doing the same jokes you were doing years ago, okay? You're editing certain things out because you don't want people to hear it. So your humor hasn't changed. No joke that they distanced themselves from him. They probably didn't want anything to do with him anymore. Not to mention, let's not forget that Shane referenced Andrew as his assistant, his employee, or something like that, that he paid, okay? No longer did Shane Dawson ever say that Andrew was his friend anymore. He was reduced to an employee. Do you guys remember that? Why would Andrew want to be friends with him, you know? And he probably knew that Morgan went along with that. Not to mention, Morgan is banking on the fact that Andrew and Garrett are never going to come out and address this, because they never come out and address anything. They've never come out and addressed Shane. They've made a few hints here and there, but they've never come out and talked about it. Garrett's made a few hints. Andrew has never made any hints about it, okay, on their podcast back in the day. Sweet Boys podcast. He's never said anything about it. So she knows that they're probably not going to ever come out and talk about it, right? I don't know that Morgan's not implicated in this situation. I don't know that Morgan, you know, wasn't like, I'm standing by Shane and Ryland and the expense get fucked. I don't know that. I'm just hearing her part of the story. I'm not hearing everybody's part of the story, okay? You know? I don't know what the other parts of the story are. Shane Dawson's never come out and addressed it. So we're going to take Morgan Adams' view out of protection of her brother of what happened between her and Andrew and Garrett. I probably wouldn't talk to her. I'm just being completely honest, okay? I probably would have a conversation with her and say, hey, Morgan, because you are so close with Ryland and Shane, because Ryland is your brother and this is your brother's fiancé husband, you know, fiancé at the time, I just don't think that we can continue to hang out. Girl, I love you. I'm here for you if you need me, but I want to have that conversation. I mean, I have conversations with people like that in my life. I've never really had to have that conversation, but I would, right? So do I think that that's kind of a little weird? Yeah, I do, right? That makes me think, because Andrew and Garrett, I've watched them for a long time, off and on. They seem like pretty level-headed people. Not to mention, I met them in person, okay? I met them in person. So, I don't really... I mean, it was not a long encounter. It was a couple hours, right? But, I don't know. And just, it's interesting to me. I just, you know, and... I mean, in all honesty, Shane talked about Morgan while I was there. It was her birthday. That's why they were there, you know, and talked about Morgan and why she didn't come. And so, you know what? I don't know. Like, there's a lot of like back talking that's going on. I don't know Rylan and Garrett or Andrew and Garrett's story. If they want to come out and share it, they'll come out and share it. I don't know Shane's side of the story or Rylan's side of the story. If they want to come out and share it, they can come out and share it. What's interesting to me is she posted this video on the 27th of December, okay? 4 days before the end of the month when everybody's saying this is a big AdSense month, right? She posts this video. Everybody is talking about how the fact that she addresses Andrew and Garrett. The whole video is about weight loss and putting on and putting off sunglasses and doing it's a get ready with me and all this kind of stuff. She doesn't really address a lot of real serious stuff in this video. A few things, but not a lot. The longest part that she talks about in this video is Andrew and Garrett, okay? She leaves up, now what she had to do, okay? When you post a video, you cannot take, okay, I want to make this very clear so you understand this, okay? If I upload a video to YouTube, okay, and then I choose to edit out a part, I would have to take the original video, edit out that part, and re-upload it to YouTube. It would look like an absolutely new upload, okay? She didn't do that. She kept the same video, and she edited. What she did was, she used the YouTube editor, okay? I used to do that back in the day. I used to use the YouTube editor way back in the day to cut off the beginnings and the ends, okay? I know people that use it today. It takes an insane amount of time, okay? It's not like you just go in and clip a part, it's back up there in 2 seconds. It takes an insane amount of time, okay? For that to reformat and for it to edit and whatever. During that time, you're watching the original video that's there, okay? When the edit is done, it then transforms into the new edit. That's what she did, okay? Which means, because I originally thought, well, maybe Andrew and Garrett reached out to her as soon as the video went live and they called her, okay? If that's the case, then Morgan Adams needs to come out and she needs to say that. After she's literally come for Andrew and Garrett in this video and said that they were the shittiest people, and she's letting those comments stand in the comment section. So if Andrew and Garrett reached out to her and that's why she edited the part out, I think out of fairness to everybody involved, she should probably come out and address that, right? Because she's still letting those comments stay up about all these people just like writing hard for Andrew and Garrett, okay? So if they did reach out to her, then I think she needs to come out and address that. If that's not why she deleted the part, I'm not sure why she deleted the part. She allowed the video to be up for 4 hours, okay? So there's no legality involved in this. It's just her sharing her side of the story. So I'm very confused as to why she deleted this part out, okay? The only reason I can think is because she would have had to have started doing the edit the second that the video went live for 6 hours later, the edit to go through. I know this from YouTube backend, okay? Anybody that uses the YouTube Creator app can tell you that, or the YouTube editor can tell you that, okay? It takes a long time. So she would have had to start editing that video, like, as soon as it went live. Which means, to me, looking at it, I don't care if it's Morgan Adams, or Judy Smith, or Sally Jones. I don't care who it is, okay? If I was looking at this, what I would say is, this is a marketing tactic because whatever she said in that video, she's going to drive a lot of attention in that video. Everybody's going to be talking about the fact that, did you see that Morgan talked about Garrett and Andrew? Did you guys know how many comments I got about that? How many DMs I got about that? That Morgan addressed Andrew and Garrett and this whole Shane situation? Okay. Then people are going there and they're watching the video. Then she clips that part out. Then everybody's talking about how she clipped that part out, okay? So people are going back to watch the video. Just like they go back to watch Shane's videos where he changes the thumbnail or their title because they don't know if it's a new video. They go back to watch the video. They have to watch 3/4 of the video to see the part that she clipped it out, okay? She's making ads for all of that. She clips out that part, but she leaves up the part that says whatever she said there about goss, hot goss, okay? Why would you not clip out that part? I watched right before that. There's a break in that part that you could have clipped out, and you could have said that, went from that section to the next section. You didn't have to leave hot goss in there. So she purposely left hot goss in there, okay? So that would be getting people to wonder, what the hell did she talk about in this video? Well, I'm going to go read the comments. The longer people are reading the comments, the longer that people are watching the video. This, to me, is all marketing from somebody that has watched very closely. They have watched algorithms, views, watch time, and numbers for years. They've talked about it in a lot of their videos. Now, I'm a drama commentary channel. That's my job to watch those things. They're not. Shane's obsessed with numbers. Trisha Paytas told me that years ago. He told me that in person. Trisha was like, he knows the numbers of every up-and-coming person, what numbers they have, what views they get, their watch time. He knows all that. He watches everybody. He told me that in person. I know that. Do I think that the apple falls that far from the tree to Rylan and Morgan? No. I think this is a marketing tactic, and that's why I don't know what I think about the story. It takes away from the story for me, right? The other thing is, it worked because people are talking about it now. So people are getting interested in it, right? So it bumps up the views at the end of the month when the money is the heaviest, at the end of December, okay? She says in the video that she's insanely in debt. So she's got to put out a video at the end of the month. I don't know why she didn't post all through the month. You know, at least 4 videos. All she's got to do, I mean, she does videos where she's got hoodies over her head and sunglasses on. Girl, film a 10-minute video laying in bed and say, I don't feel like filming a video. But I'm insanely in debt and I gotta pay the bills, so I wanna talk to y'all, okay? People, she's that honest in her videos. She really is that vulnerable. People would watch it. She get 500,000 views. She'd probably make a couple $1,000s off of it. Pay some bills, you know? Okay, so she does this. But what's interesting to me about it is, what she didn't talk about was why they weren't friends with Shane anymore. So she talked in there about the fact that Garrett and Andrew defriended her. But she didn't talk about why they're not friends with Shane anymore. She knows why they're not friends with Shane. She has to. Shane knows that, right? So she talks to Shane and Ryland all the time. That's why she hasn't distanced themselves from her. And hey, I totally understand that. I get it, right? It's her brother-in-law and his husband. I totally understand that, right? But then she knows why they distanced themselves from Shane. But she doesn't address that. So where's the hot goss, girl? The hot goss is just, they didn't talk to you anymore? Maybe they just wanted to cut ties with the whole group. Maybe it was just, they were evolving and changing. They wanted nothing to do with the old times before. Maybe there was something so dark and so twisted about the world, the beautiful world of Shane Dawson, that they couldn't be part of it anymore. And it wasn't just like, as you say, renting hotel rooms and stuff. Maybe it went a lot darker than that. Maybe it went a lot deeper than that. And maybe, Morgan, you were never aware of that. Or maybe you were. And this is your way of kind of coming out and addressing that. I don't know, right? But context to me means a lot. Maybe they never thought that she was part of it, you know? I don't know. Maybe it never had anything to do with the cancellation. Maybe there's some whole other situation going on that Morgan is part of, that they didn't want anything to do with her. You know, she almost kind of acts like it doesn't have anything to do with this when she's discussing the part where she says, oh, I thought we were all friends, and she talks about, I always kind of knew that there was 2 camps. You just said that there was 5, that it was all 5 of you. But then right after that, you come out and you say, there was the Andrew and Garrett camp, and there was the Shane and Ryland camp, and you were in the middle of it, kind of going back and forth. That almost makes me think that at some point, it was when Ryland entered the picture that things kind of started going down south. So she's not going to come out and implicate her own brother in this. So what happened at that point? I mean, I'm just speculating because I don't understand this, right? There's no context to the story. It's just she reached out to Garrett and Ryland, or Garrett and, I can never get these names straight, Garrett and Andrew, and they never responded to her, but we don't know the back end of that story at all. For her to put that out there in the world and then delete it and have a bunch of people coming from Garrett and Andrew. I'd like to hear Garrett and Andrew's side of the story. I'd like to hear Shane Dawson be man enough to get in the story and talk about, hey, you guys, you know what? I'm an almost 40-year-old man. I'm a dad now, and I think I owe it to you guys to tell you why I'm no longer friends with Andrew and Garrett. Okay, I'd rather hear that than, you don't have to buy my slimes, don't buy my slimes. You don't have to buy my slimes. You're a 40-year-old man pushing fucking slimes on Instagram, okay? You're a pusher is what you are. You're a slime pusher. Come out and be a man. Talk about it. Talk about why you say Jeffree Star is your best friend, but ain't nobody ever seen you with Jeffree Star ever, okay? Except for his last launch, okay? Talk about why you're not friends with Andrew and Garrett anymore. When Andrew made you most fantastic videos in the entire world. The quality of your videos have gone to shit since Andrew's left. And you refer to him as an employee. I'd be pissed about that too. That you didn't refer to me as a collaborator when I was giving you a lot of ideas for videos. I know that Andrew was giving you ideas. I had those conversations with y'all sitting there. I know Andrew was behind a lot of those ideas. I heard him talk about those ideas with you. Okay? Come out and be a man enough to talk about that kind of stuff. Be a person of character enough to come out and address those things. That's probably why they don't want anything to do with the whole lot of you. Okay? I wouldn't want anything to do with them anymore either. Now, I would reach out to Morgan and tell her why. I do think that's fair. And I do think that they owe that to Morgan. But maybe Morgan has something in this that she's not talking about. I don't know, you know? So anyway, let me know what you think about all that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.